Crack open that bottle of wine. Grab your favorite glass, pour a couple of fingers of scotch in it. Get that stick, light it, and blow. It's time to hang with Steel Sharpens Steel after dark.
What is uppiness, Sharpies?
Hello, Sharpies.
What it is. What it is.
It's good to see our favorite trio in here for the evening. I'm seeing, okay, what's up, Anthony? You know, Anthony had to be first one in the room with the high. Seconds, mere seconds before Mark, and then CJ, Anthony again, and Tracy. Thank you. We are glad to be back. Glad to have you there.
We are so glad to be back. And if the circumstances of why I in particular were different, then we wouldn't exactly have the show that we have tonight. And so we're keeping our fingers crossed, but we have a chock full of show today, regardless of the circumstances. Anthony, we are happy to be here. You can see I'm a hand it out because Joy right now is representing House Targaryen with these silver blades she got rocking in her head space right now. You see, she is Mother of Dragons tonight. I am into it. I am completely into it. It should all. There she goes. Come on now. Come on, braids. You better put that braids.
Dracarys.
So it should be said that finally, for the first time, Joy and I met face to face.
Yes.
We had a face-to-face encounter in Atlanta,
downtown Atlanta. How Tom gonna come in my city and tell me about a new noodle restaurant that I didn't know nothing about?
Listen, the noodles were amazing.
Yo, what was the name of that place? Xian?
Show long.
XIA. It's like Xian.
Show
gourmet noodle shop. 10th and Spring.
Peachtree-ish.
Peachtree. It's over there. Just look for it. It's great.
Show long. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I had the lamb. These are hand pulled noodles, so they're not like udon noodles. They're not like rice noodles. They're hand pulled, so they're all irregular and crazy. And I had mine as a soup because of all the extra broth. And Joy,
I had mine same meal as a pasta with less broth in it, but thicker sauce. And I had the big, thick, wide, like, inch and a half across noodles. Oh my God. It was so good that I immediately knew, one, I knew it was too much food. And two, I knew I was not leaving that shit there. We taking this home.
Oh,
we get all home. Awesome, delicious.
Yeah, I also, during my time there, it was during the Atlanta Film Festival, and my sister was celebrating her birthday. And we also went to Honeybees, which is an establishment. It's takeout only now. Mm-hmm. I didn't know you could spend $25 on
cornbread and
cheese, soul food, but whatever. We also went to Twisted Soul, and I don't know what part of town you would call that. It's in the basement level of like apartment building kind of thing, like the street level of an apartment building. And that was very good. The Nola Opelousas seafood and grits was killer. Mm-hmm. It was nuts. It was
you can get some good food in Atlanta. Pretty much
get some good food. You really can. And so it was a brief trip. And
I met Tom's parents.
Yeah, she did. She met my sister.
And his sister. Mm-hmm.
That's right.
I'm in the family now. I look like one of them.
I mean, honestly. And are you going to tell the wine story or am I?
You tell the wine story.
Okay, so Joy, as we know, is I
am an economic wine aficionado.
She is an aficionado. And so she was talking about some stuff and the wines that she liked. And she mentioned a vintner to my dad. And he's like, Yeah, okay.
Right. I'm telling him my favorite wine is this bourbon infused wine called Cooper and Thieves, and it's great. It's aged in a bourbon barrel, blah blah blah. Because for me, that is my like I don't share it wine, right? He was like,
yeah, but it's aged in a bourbon barrel. Have you tried this? Literally pouring out wine.
Poor unfortunate soul. Like
so she didn't know this, but my dad is like, I mean, he's a wine guy.
Yeah.
He's a wine guy. And so he's like, yeah, the thing about this, and he unscrews it to say, this is a nice wine, but it's easy to keep. Oh yeah.
I didn't know.
She wandered into it. She wasn't trying to be hoity-toity. It's just that she didn't know she was marching into a tiger pit. And my dad was like, ah. And so then he started talking about things, and we started talking about, when he'd go and talk to this guy that he's friends with, and he, I bought these 3 magnums of wine from you, and they invited him to the house and all this other sort of stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. You didn't know where you were walking.
He gave me the wine that he was drinking to taste. And I literally, I was like, yes, so I know nothing of wine, and I'm going to quit pretending that I do, because this tastes amazing and I don't even know what it is. So I'm just gonna let you give me wine from now on.
And we enjoyed the wine. He's like, you want another glass? And blah blah blah. It was a very Cunningham family experience. It was. It's my dad. It's just, he's a red guy. He really is. He loves reds. And so that's where I got my taste for red wine. Mm-hmm. And so it was just an interesting circumstance. I was very pleased that she was
clearly
able to make them.
I descend from people who drank Tanqueray and Johnny Walker Red. So me knowing the difference between red and white wine was already an elevation from my family.
It was.
Remember, this show is classy, bougie, ratchet.
And this is an after dark, and so it is completely appropriate that we start the after dark with an after wine. And yes. I will just say, my dad loves wine so much that anytime thank you, Storm, circa 2008.
Yes, come to me. You know what happens to a frog when lightning strikes it?
Yeah,
I could have delivered that line so much better than Halle Berry.
Horrible line, and Halle Berry with her faux African accent, which she completely abandoned for the rest of her appearances, was not the business. I will just say, she's giving you Silver Storm, and I will be light skinned T'Challa. So we can match energy.
You're gonna be Wakanda forever.
Yeah, Wakanda forever.
Yes, forever.
The White Wolf. It's like, on your way to Wakanda, yeah, you can take the 405 all the way
off to La Cienega.
And when you can take, sometimes I'll take Olympic just because you can avoid the traffic during rush hour.
If you haven't seen the show The Californians
on Saturday Night Live.
Saturday Night Live,
Harry gets it. And I will say, Harry, we're going to talk about the cover image. We're going to talk about the cover image for this show a little bit later. But I do have a special shout out for you, Harry, when that comes, because while I was in Tallahassee, your name came up. So I'll just say that. But let's, in a positive way, not in a negative way, in a very, very, very positive way. So that being said, why don't we get started into the real crux of the show? I will say this week's show is brought to you by Fuck Around and Find Out.
Yes.
When you decide you want to prosecute someone and you don't really have a case, and you spend a week trying to put something together, and then you spend the second week trying to dawdle through the rest of your foolishness and chicanery, and you end up with 1 not guilty and 72 hung with 10-2 for acquittal. You've just purchased a can of Fuck Around and Find Out.
Right. You fucked around.
And
now you found
out. But let's talk about some other people who fucked around and found out. First off, Tucker Carlson.
Fired at last. Thank God Almighty.
He's fired at last. Okay, and so this guy, oh boy, what to say? We saw that Tucker Carlson was fired from his job at Fox News.
Yes.
The day that they settled for $787 million. Okay. God don't like ugly. And so this is what they're saying. The New York Times, other sources are reporting that this is the straw that broke the camel's back. Now, I don't know how this is the straw that broke the camel's back.
The straw costs money.
Well, it does. It does cost money, but this is what supposedly did it. And this is him talking about something that he saw on the YouTubes. It was 3 against 1 at least. Jumping a guy like that is dishonorable, obviously. It's not how white men fight.
What?
So on my book of face, I had to put a comment about this because Tucker, I called him Fish Sticks McBowtie. This is exactly how white men fight. There was a thing called lynching, mob justice, where multiple men would attack a single black man, sometimes a black woman, and assault them, sometimes castrate them, and then hang them, and then invite their friends.
And then burn them.
Cook out, and then burn
the body. And then keep the bones. And sometimes the genitalia for virility, like you would a rhino or a
trinket.
A lion, yeah.
And that was so popular in the late 1800s that it kept Ida B. Wells fully employed just talking about it, just chronicling that. And that's before we get to, I don't know, the 60s? Ever heard of a little movie called Mississippi Burning, which chronicled the FBI's attempts to solve the murders of the 3 workers, 2 white men, 1 black man, who were trying to enfranchise black folks in Mississippi?
Bruh, we can take it to 2021 or late 2020. Ahmaud Arbery chased down via truck by 3 white people
and shot
point blank range with a shotgun
for
jogging.
Or George Floyd.
Or George Floyd.
Where a literal gang of white men ended his life. This is exactly how white men fight.
Right.
You pathetic, precious little coward. You person who spouted virulent racism every day of your show. Literally every day of your show. And the thing that got you the boot was you saying this is not how white men fight.
You Lilliputian ignoramus. I pray for your continued suffering for the remainder of your days.
You Ken doll genitalia having, trifling, bastard ass fuckstick. This is your legacy.
Right? Ass Mark.
I mean Mark. You are a Mark ass buster. Hoe ass. And I would just want to say, to the credit of your own former network, what does racism look like? If that isn't the best Chiron ever, the screen grab of screen grabs.
It looks like Tucker Carlson tonight. Yeah.
It looks like Tucker Carlson tonight at Tucker Carlson, at I'm suing to get my job back, at I'm deplatformed, at hashtag oops,
right.
Hashtag when I'm finna do next.
Right. Nobody wants to bang me because I got fired.
I mean, I got fired. Fired. It is interesting though that you use the word Mark, because our second story of the night is about Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson and his recently uncovered Facebook and social media posts in the aftermath of the Parkland shooting. Now, this is, I mean, I don't use Uncle Tom because just as Uncle Tom is actually not a bad literary character. He's a heroic character. And since my name is Tom and some people used to call me Uncle Tom, I had to gird my loins in correcting them. So not Uncle Tom. He is, however, a coon and a half. Hakuna Matata.
Mm-hmm.
What a wonderful phrase. Hakuna Matata. Ain't no passing craze. It means
you should be worried
for the rest of your days. And this is what this guy looks like. Now, he is a firebrand. He is supposedly the front runner for governor of North Carolina. This is what he looks like.
You gonna eat your cornbread?
Exactly that. But since we are in the midst of the aftermath of May the 4th be with you and Revenge of the 5th, tell me this motherfucker doesn't look like Jabba the Hutt.
Oh, no.
Got the hand gestures.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Do you know how much joy it brings me when I stumble upon a photo as I'm looking and I'm trying to find something for the show?
Oh, yeah.
And I saw this and I said, if that Jabba the Hutt looking Han Solo Bantapudu, it gave me so much life. And when I saw his hands were like this, I said, where's it? Where's the Jabba the Hutt? Where's the Jabba the Hutt? Where's the Jabba the Hutt? It took me 35 seconds to find that exact hand gesture. It is impossible. I'm giving you Midas touch. I'm giving you this for free. Anybody who wants, no, bro, it's the sweater because you could see the roll, just like Jabba has rolls on his shoulder. Of course, that's his disgusting skin. But I mean, bruh. Yeah, exactly. So it was so perfect. Now, this clown was talking about how these kids were being babies because they were shot at in their school and they were children trying to tell grown-ups how to act, because if a grown-up had been in there with a gun, then they would have just been in there learning blah, blah, blah. This is the man who is the front runner for governor of North Carolina, the same North Carolina whose Supreme Court just undid the ruling against
Mucinex booger. Yeah.
Yes, the Mucinex monster. He is giving that. But I mean, technically, I think Mucinex monster, Jabba, then Mark.
Yes.
Mucinex monster is a little less structured than Jabba, and Mucinex monster's hands are real little, so he can't. Like, he has no like elbows, so he can't put them in front. So Mucinex, Jabba, Mark.
That's the evolution of the turd.
Yeah, this is the evolution, which he probably doesn't believe in. But this is the guy who is apparently a hair's breadth away from being the governor of North Carolina. North Carolina, Herschel Walker, this dude, throw him into the pit.
No, he's got a legit shot.
Oh no, he does.
Herschel
Walker almost won too. Let's not
think about that. Herschel was a fucking idiot, illiterate bastard. This dude actually has some sense. We don't like what he has to say. We don't agree with nothing he says. He's politically a nightmare, but he's not stupid.
No, he's not stupid, and he's saying all the right things. That NRA money coming in. There's bro, you ain't got to. If not for North Carolina A&T and NC Central, bro, throw the whole state away. It's a lot. It is a lot. And he's not even the biggest, dumbest, blackest person we have to talk shit about this week. He absolutely isn't, which is crazy to me, because
you don't want more diversity, so we got more representation in the asshole ranks.
I mean, we absolutely do. This is not the sort of thing I would like to be doing. Again, you know us, unapologetically black. We say it in our opening. And we don't like to hit our people. But
if they need whoopings, they need
absolutely.
We don't pull punches.
Absolutely. Yeah. We do not.
We get a little more irritated when it is somebody that visually is in our demographic. Howsoever, fuck that dude.
No, yeah, absolutely. Fuck him all the way to hell. There's no way. And again, Democratic National Committee or whomever, Senator, DSCC, whatever, if you're trying to do something, if you get my name right, because you're still sending me goddamn things under Hakeem Jeffries, got a picture of my frat brother, who is my literal Sans from Spring '89, and you still calling me Kenneth.
Come on, Kenneth. You look like a Kenneth.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I don't. So, you know who could be mistaken for a Kenneth? This guy.
No, that's a Ken.
Oh, that's a Ken.
Yeah, you don't get the whole Kenneth, just Ken doll.
Just Ken. So where to begin?
Leroy the tap dancing coon.
I mean, with double-fisted watermelon slices. Just like
a chicken leg in each.
I'm a coon.
Right.
I'm a coon.
Right.
And I'm shaking my watermelon to the moon. Mac and cheese. Stuck on greens. Yeah, I'm just going to that.
Right.
This is a guy who started off. What is it, about the beginning of April?
No, he does.
I high key do what? Wait, hold on now.
Nothing.
No, wait, lie.
We was having a conversation, me and Nikki, about you looking like Kenneth. He looked like Kenneth,
though. Okay, so around about April, early-ish April, there was this whole thing that came out, and we've covered it on the show, about Clarence Thomas getting all these high-key vacations. That was not great. They did the tally, and it was like more than $1 million. And then some people were like, well, but they were going on the vacation anyway, so getting Clarence and Jenny there, it's not like that was the full value. But if they were going on the vacation by themselves, having to rent a yacht that he owned and all that other shit, yes, it would be a ton of money. But since he was already going, it was probably just airfare and helicopter transfer, or whatever, to get them onto the boat, so that they could appear on the boat like Taraji P. Henson in Acrimony, completely dry. Instead of swimming onto the boat, they were airlifted on. So sure, fine, okay. Then the next thing that comes out is that this same billionaire bought his mama's house and 2 other pieces of property. The mama, Clarence Thomas's mama, still lives in the house, and the guy spent money on upgrades. Wi-Fi, I don't know, matching watermelon slicers. Who knows?
Yeah, you gotta have probably got the little lawn
jockeys,
lawn jockeys out front.
Yeah,
in Clarence's image.
Oh, in a Supreme Court justice robe.
Supreme Court jockeys.
Yeah,
on the front lawn. Look at my baby.
So, not look at my baby. So that was number 2. Then number 3 just came out more recently. I wasn't going to say indoor plumbing, Nikki. Damn it. I was not going to do that.
She did it for us. She broached the subject. It's like cutting in spades. She's cut. We can leave with troops now.
Yes. I mean, maybe he converted one of the lots into like a cotton field for sharecropping. Who knows? So the thing that came out this week is that Justice Thomas, who gets a salary of $285,000 a year, the vast majority of his career, which he earned for sitting and saying nothing.
Yeah.
Let's be clear. Barely even writing opinions, but mostly never asking a question and getting $285,000 a year. His wife was given salary as a consultant, and the guy who was funneling the money to her said, of course, don't mention Jenny's name. That's scandal number 3.
Yes.
Then scandal number 4 came out, and scandal number 4 is that same billionaire
Yes. The same one?
The same one.
From the
Harlan.
house.
And I hit
from the house and also from the vacation.
From the house and from the vacations, was literally paying $100,000 in tuition for Clarence Thomas's grandnephew.
So not even grandson.
Not even grandson, grandnephew.
Some other barely related to him person.
But he was his legal guardian. This is the fourth one, yes. He was the legal guardian for this boy and making $285,000 a year while his wife is also raking in, presumably claimed on their tax returns, but perhaps not. Consultant money. They couldn't afford the tuition. Now, the tuition is $6,000 a month to this place.
A month?
A month.
The fuck are they doing in there?
Because Harlan, the billionaire, it's where he went. So, of course, if you're a billionaire and you went to that school, oh, I think he'd be a good fit. Yeah, sure. Okay, well, I can't afford $6,000 a month, Harlan. Oh, don't worry about it. I give generously to the school and I have a scholarship.
Oh, my God.
Just like that. This, can you imagine if Sonia Sotomayor,
if she so much as bought cookies for,
if somebody brought 2 tamales,
I feel like that was racist.
No, because that's what they would say.
Yeah.
They would.
Yeah.
If somebody brought her a DoorDash of
Taco Cabana.
Right. Tito's Tacos.
She got some fucking Chipotle delivered to her. They would be trying to get the receipts and prove that she need to go to jail for bribery.
With soy chorizo. Not even the good
soy
stuff.
Chorizo.
Anything, much less. The tally is up to more than $1 million at this point. And Judge Roberts, Chief Justice Roberts, ain't saying nan. Because
don't nobody else want nobody digging into their shit. None of the conservatives are going to say a goddamn thing because they've all done the same thing. Because please believe there's no way they would let Clarence get that type of frills and privilege if they didn't have it too. He wasn't going to have nothing they don't have. They're not saying nothing because don't look at me like that, Clarence. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. The reason they're not saying nothing is because they don't want anybody to turn around and look into their shit. And I'll bet you dollars to donuts that Clarence knows who has also taken some suspicious money.
All I know is that the folds in that big red curtain behind him are reminiscent of jail bars. Not that he will ever go to jail. There's not a chance.
No.
But he should. This is scandalous. I mean, sure, but they ain't gonna do it while what's his name is in office, while Biden's in office. And they're relooking. By the way, they're relooking at those Kavanaugh charges. Just in case you ain't heard, they are
good.
The Kavanaugh charges.
I hope they do. I hope they do. Speaking of charges, who's next on the list here?
Well, how about this story?
Yes. Let's talk.
He picked the wrong one.
You picked the wrong one, baby.
Look at this. Look at this graphic I picked for this one.
What you don't see is them jamming a pen into the side of his face, because that's exactly what that is.
Exactly. So DeSantis is a person whose candidacy for president is in free fall. He thought that he was going to inherit Trumpism. And there was a while where he was actually ahead of Trump in some polling. But then, you call it a gift, whatever, Alvin Bragg hit him in New York, and all of a sudden he started rebounding, and everything is going crazy for him now. Now Trump is way out front. Trump is dogging him to death.
And I'm loving it. I'm here for it.
I mean,
it's the only time I ever appreciate some bullshit Trump is doing, because I don't think that Trump is going to be able to successfully win the primary to run for president. But he is tearing down the only other person that might have had a fucking shot. And people are still going to, the same way that he lost Georgia for I mean, because I love Stacey. Like, I for real love Stacey Abrams. But part of the reason that she was successful with turning Georgia blue is because he told people don't vote.
Right.
And that, even if it was a percentage, all of that passed by like 50 to 51, 49. So he absolutely helped to sway it against the Republicans. And he is doing such a good job of bashing the stupid over here that he's going to lose any sort of plurality he had by the time they get to the primary. And somebody might come out of the woodwork that doesn't have any sort of stain against them. And because they're not insane, they will get the nomination. Just the bar is so low as, hi, I'm running for president and I can speak in full sentences and I'm not insane. Okay. That is the bar. I got to do more than that. Do more than that to be a candy striper at the hospital.
That's true. You actually have to fill out an application to even get hired at McDonald's.
Right.
So the thing that is really interesting about DeSantis, because now he is so far behind, he's not in single digits, but he is double digits behind.
Yeah.
And yet and still, Florida legislators passed a bill this week shielding his primary. Wouldn't you rather be a vampire than a werewolf?
I'm a vampire.
Argument?
I'm a vampire.
But I'm saying, isn't that what Herschel said? He thought
he'd rather be a vampire than a werewolf because vampires don't get old or something. Or no, werewolf because vampires can't go out in the sunlight or something.
But werewolves aren't in the sunlight either. They're just humans in the sunlight.
I don't know.
They only turn into werewolves under the full moon.
I don't remember stupid logic.
Okay, so they have passed a bill shielding his travel record, supposedly because he's the only public figure, I guess, or the only governor in the country whose travel is paid for by
the taxpayers. Because he just got back from Israel, 2 weeks ago? The fuck doing? He was in Wisconsin. He is doing his campaign trail, and the state of Florida is paying for it. And it's so stupid that they we're fine with it.
And they're shielding. Guess what? He's not president of Florida. He's going to leave y'all behind. He won't be able to do nothing for you. Ain't going to be any Florida bills he's going to be signing. Wait, copyright laws. Wait, what now?
Tell us about that, because we can't get to that link.
Yeah, I can't click on that link. I can maybe copy it and see. Hold on. Oh, I can't even do that because of the if I do it, it's going to show it. I can't even click on it. So
to our stream, our Steel Sharpens Steel.
Yeah, send it to our Steel Sharpens Steel message board.
DM us. Yeah,
DM us and do that while we're continuing. So, because we haven't even gotten to the thing. So, DeSantis, he got pissed because Disney came out against Don't Say Gay. Disney has a lot of gay employees. I mean, give me a break. You're running.
Orlando has a very robust and vibrant LGBTQ scene.
Exactly.
Drag Brunch in Orlando is fucking fire, man. If you ain't been, you need to go. This shit's great. But that also bleeds into the performing arts and the cruise lines, everything. Them jazz hands is real, and so they're all at Disney as well. And so how are you going to tell a company where roughly anywhere from 8 to 15% of their employees are identify as LGBTQ in some way, shape, form, or fashion? Don't say gay. Fuck you saying? So they're really just supporting their own employees.
But not only their own employees, their own customers. So let's be clear. It's not like gay people don't go to Disney World. A ton of gay people go to Disney World. They have gay nights at Disney World. So the bottom line is that Disney felt obligated to speak out against foolishness. Right. And so DeSantis thought, oh, I know what I'm going to do. You can't do this to Florida. Da 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 da.
Yeah. And so these hands are ready for everybody.
Yeah. Ha ha. Anybody can spend money with us. Ha ha. So he tried to take away Reedy Creek. Reedy Creek was their private districting base. Basically, what they said is that in the 60s, when they said they were gonna build a super town. They basically said they were going to build the town of tomorrow. Yeah. And instead of building the town of tomorrow, they turned it into
Disneyland,
the world's biggest, resort destination.
Yeah.
But because they did that, they knew they would need to build. They wouldn't need, they didn't want to be hampered by government or whatever. We're going to spend billions of dollars. Let us have our own thing. We'll run it. We're Disney. Trust me, you know what Disneyland is. It's going to be spectacular, but
Right.
we need control. We don't want to wait. We need to run our own sewage lines. This is a swamp. We need to make it better. Let us do it. The Reedy Creek Improvement Association, fine. He decides he's going to take over, and he's going to pass some legislation where he gets to appoint the people for Reedy Creek. When he tried to do that, Disney was like, cool. Okay, yeah, we got you. All right, great. And so quietly, before these guys get into office, Disney file this thing, and they vote to not be bound by the will of his people. They put it in public record. They made an announcement. DeSantis is too busy running victory laps, and he doesn't realize what happened. And then they're like, oh, yeah, by the way, we kind of neutered your entire thing against us.
That's what happens when you know the law.
And also, when you're a multinational, multi-billion-dollar conglomerate that owns a television network and bought the assets of Fox and Marvel, you do not
Disney
win.
owns the Avengers.
And Star Wars.
And Star Wars.
And Avatar.
Coming and going. And what?
Avatar.
Oh, Jesus.
They own Avatar.
We got you coming and going and Pandora, man. Come on, son.
The Simpsons.
Chan makes a really good point. The demographic that the Republicans are chasing is aging, and kids love Disney. But that is one of the reasons that Disney will never go out of business, because that is the religious pilgrimage of every 5 to 8 year old is to go to Disney.
But here's what DeSantis also didn't understand. I used to work for Disney, and during the millennium, when the millennium was turning over, we did an entire site redesign. The core of the site redesign was about Disney's market segments. Disney is not just marketed to kids.
No.
Disney is marketed to families with kids. That's a bucket. The second bucket is kids who have grown up, don't have kids of their own, but are still Disney files.
The Zendaya crowd.
These are 20-somethings, 30-somethings, no kids, but still love the culture. Then the third bucket is grandparents who bring their grandkids.
They're going to bring them grandbabies.
The parents don't want to F around with the mouse, but the grandparents are like, whatever makes the kids happy. Fuck it,
right. We're doing it all.
Those are the buckets. They got you cradle to grave. You can't escape the mouse. And not the least of which reasons, ask me where Ron DeSantis got married.
Where did Ron DeSantis get married?
Fucking Disney World. You dumbass. How the fuck are you going to go up against Disney World when you got married there?
Right. Well, know your shit.
I mean, they got your credit card, bro. Like, Disney weddings is a whole thing. They created Disney weddings because people wanted to get Disney. Yes, they do have double entendres. And he doesn't even know what a double entendre. Well, actually, he probably does because he went to Harvard. But he screwed around. And when he tried to attack a business, which, thanks to Citizens United, is protected by free speech, the government was suppressing their speech. And so they sued his ass. And now he's stumbling around. He's got his little minions saying, oh, this is a political suit. No, your actions were political.
Your actions were
head of the government, and the government tried to stifle the speech of a company, an entity that has more money than almost anybody.
Right. They fucked around. As a matter of fact, let me put it in Disney speak. You fucked around and now you have found out a whole new place of agony. Someone just told you no, you know where to go. Just take your shit and fade away quietly.
Leave.
You know you fucked up, right?
You're fucking with the wrong mouse, Ron.
You know you fucked up, right?
You're goofy, Ron.
That's your ass, Ron.
That's your ass now. Good luck running for governor when you can't even get any support within your own state.
Right? MIC. See, you done fucked up. KEY. You know you done fucked up, right?
Never will succeed. Yeah, it's gonna be super duper ugly. It really is gonna be ugly.
A kennel, yes. Disney has a kennel of lawyers. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're right. They under there like the dogs in Game of Thrones, like foaming at the mouth, waiting on a chance to prove themselves to the mouse.
I would say just because of how violently they are going to take him apart, they have a murder of lawyers. Just like a murder of crows.
Yes, they have a murder of lawyers.
They are going to take you to pieces. They are literally going to take you.
The piranhas will feed.
I mean, it is not gonna.
And you chum the waters yourself. Because here's the thing: you ain't had to do none of this.
None of it.
And wasn't nobody outside asking you to step up and do all this shit. You decided to do it on your own. Your arms too short to box with guys, son. See, now if you had more black friends, they'd have told you that years ago. But no, you done fucked up. Good luck. Actually, no, I don't wish you any luck. I hope
on your own. Why did it end this way? Mm-hmm. This wasn't how it was supposed to be. Yeah. You thought that you could fight against Disney. It's not going to work for you. It's just not going to work for you. And that's
I didn't know this. So Elaine says any lawyer who knows about Disney knows that it is legendary for not settling. They're going to take this shit to the floor.
No.
love it.
This is pocket change to Disney. And they have a gay lawyer who's like, oh no, I'm doing this for free.
1,001 jurors. I love it.
Give me those puppies. It is not. Now I've got to go find Cruella DeVille that I can Photoshop onto his hair. Damn you people. Mm-hmm. Cruella DeRon.
Cruella DeSantis. It's right there.
Yeah. Okay, so we're done with. Oh, there's more.
You have
there's
more.
More.
Mm-hmm.
We have not even gotten to the Trumpster. Now, the Trumpster was digging into Ron's. I don't want to say he was digging into Ron's ass. If you have seen the commercial that he put out on the internet, you'll know why I say he doesn't want. I don't want to say he's digging into Ron's ass. There is a pudding commercial that Donald Trump put out about Ron DeSantis.
Right, because Ron said he's pudding with his fingers.
DeSantis, pudding.
Mm-hmm.
It is so scatological. I can't even. But this week. In Guess Who's Getting Their Comeuppance in Court, you've got Donald Trump. So here's the skinny on the whole Trump thing. So first of all, Trump has this lawyer who is Joseph Tacopina, right? But because Tacopina kind of sounds like tapioca, I'm calling him Joey Two Scoops. Because this dude right here.
Oh my God. That looks like his name could be Joey Two Scoops.
He's Joey Two Scoops, right?
Absolutely.
Your Honor. My defendant.
Right.
Donald
On the day
J.
question,
Trump.
Your Honor, the two youths.
Did you say youths? Youths. It's not Tacky Petey. Bashida Valasta. So Joey Two Scoops decides they're not going to let Donald Trump testify. Of course they're not, because
Joey Two Scoops got good sense.
He got
don't ever get that from the mic.
He has some sense. You definitely don't want to put him in front of a mic. But unfortunately, Donald Trump had a deposition, a recorded deposition. And in this deposition, he was shown this picture. Now, the woman in this picture from the 90s, 1994, 95, before the incident, this is actually someone that almost anyone could mistake for Marla Maples.
Yeah.
She does not look like Marla Maples.
Mm-hmm.
She's white, pasty, blonde, with a Farrah Fawcett flip up. She's smiling with big, perfectly formed teeth. And she looks like she could be Marla Maples.
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump has said, well, I would never rape you. You're not my type. But when he was shown this picture, he says, yeah, that's Marla. That's my wife, Marla. Actually,
sir, that's the woman that says you raped her.
That's E. Jean Carroll.
Yeah.
So you're telling us that you that Marla was enough your type to marry her, but this woman who could be her doppelganger
is
not your type. So that was bad enough. Then they asked him about the grab him by the genitalia thing from the Access Hollywood tape. And she's like, well, so do you feel that way? And he's like, well, I mean, yeah. Going back a million years, if you're a star, I mean, that's the way things go. Unfortunately, or fortunately.
He said unfortunately or fortunately.
That's what he said on tape.
Oh
that's
my God.
What he said on tape, and that's what they played in court.
Oh my God.
So you've got him being and then they said he said that she was lying because he told her he would do some of his pickups to have an affair historically that's how it works. He said he would sometimes do pickups for some of the people that he was having an affair with at Bergdorf Goodman's.
Yeah.
And he said, well, that was a lie. And then so they said, well, weren't you having an affair with Marla Maples while you were still married to Ivana?
Right. What about that?
And he says, no, maybe there was some overlap. He didn't call it overlap. He used some other weird word. But literally in the papers of the time, it was like seen about town with lovely young model Marla Maples.
Right.
Donald Trump stepping out, right before the divorce. It's like, you're so full of shit. You're just lying and lying and lying. And so now they've got her on the stand crying. They got one of her best friends, a Black legendary journalist in New York.
I know what Chad's referring to. It was a total Rick James moment. What you talking about? She ain't my type. Yeah, she's my type. Yeah. I'm married to something like that. Yeah.
Big Macs are a hell of a drug.
Right.
So that was his testimony. All sworn deposition testimony where he was clearly impeaching himself. He won't ever take the stand. And so the defense closed. The prosecution closed. Or not the plaintiffs closed. It's not prosecution. This is a civil
trial. Know what you mean.
Right. Now, the other thing is that unlike in a criminal trial, you don't have to prove beyond reasonable doubt. It's just a preponderance of evidence.
Yeah.
Which means more likely than not.
It looked like you might have did some shit. Yeah.
It looks like you might have did that.
I feel like you did it.
We think, yeah. So they were gonna call a defense witness to impeach one of the expert witnesses who talked about rape survivors. But that guy felt ill and was not able to attend. So
I've done that before when it was some bullshit going down at my job and I didn't want to be there. I don't feel good. I'm not coming today.
I'm not coming in today.
Right.
And so defense rested, plaintiffs rested, and at the top of the week they let them go. They didn't have to go in today. So they're going to pick everything up on Monday and they're going to have closings and instructions and it's going to go to the jury. This is a real case. She's asking for monetary damages, actual monetary damage. She's asking for emotional stress and trauma, loss of reputation, all of these sorts of things. And it will be, you know what? Thank you, Vera. Because I Joey Two Scoops was trying to get the judge to recuse himself, trying to get a mistrial because of some of the rulings, blah, blah, blah. One of the things that was hilarious is that E. Jean Carroll wrote a book whose title was modeled after a Jonathan Swift essay. A Modest Proposal, basically, do we really need men? Or which was a direct, basically, copy of Jonathan Swift's proposal of basically killing and eating Irish children. So whatever. So Joey Tacopina wasn't aware of the reference. And so he said he was taking it literally. And the judge said, it's a Jonathan Swift reference. Moving on. And he was like,
what?
But in my youth, I didn't have to read Jonathan Swift. Did you say youth? Oh, dear Christ. Now, speaking of truth.
Somebody tell Trump that his dick pics are not NFTs, though.
Yeah, not fucking theirs. That's what his dick pics are. So, but ching, how quick was that? That was quick, right? That was pretty quick, right?
It was quick, speechless.
So Devin Nunes, it can't even get paid off the True Social stock, and he left his whole ass seat in the House in California, where he was never going to not get elected. By the way,
right?
He was good in his little Central Valley bullshit, but that man gave up his entire career to wash Trump's ass, and this is what it got him. So anyway, if she is found to prevail, it will be noted and proven that he raped her. That is the consequence of this.
Yeah.
They were allowed, she was allowed to bring this case because of a rape survivors thing in New York. She had a year, you know, they announced the year, she filed, blah, 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 blah. That is the other finding. That is the other finding. Not only monetary damages, he will have been found in a civil trial to have raped.
Guilty of rape.
Now, that's not going to mean much to the MAGA Karen army.
No.
But it might mean something to your daughters. You got to look at your daughters and tell them that a jury of his peers found him guilty of raping a woman.
And you're going to vote for him.
And you're going to vote for him.
Now, I do believe that we'll see that 52% of white women drop down to maybe 50%. It won't be a lot because they've been riding with him this whole time. And here's the thing. So let's get into the psychology for a bit of what it means to be conned, right? When you have been conned, first of all, nobody realizes they've been conned until it's over.
Right.
And when it's over, similar to the guys that Cardi B rolled when they got wasted in the champagne room and she would take their money and they never reported that shit, they're embarrassed. They're embarrassed that they fell for some bullshit and they don't know how many other people have fallen for it, but it doesn't matter because they're not going to tell. So when you get conned in an acute manner, you just charge it to the game, move on, and just be mad that you fell for that shit. You don't fall for it again. When you get conned in a long con like this, where it has changed the landscape of the United States, you have to double down. You have to pretend that you have not yet been conned, that it's all just a game that's longer than you expected. This is how people get bilked out of their retirement funds and shit. I'm going to keep rolling with this because I refuse to believe that this isn't true. So they're going to double down on
they're going to buy the
this is just a witch hunt and blah, blah, blah. It's worse than a lynching, all the other shit they be saying, because they refuse to believe that they've been conned. They are not ready to face that very real fact yet. And so you still going to get half of America voting for a rapist.
I will tell you right now.
Also, they don't give a fuck about their daughters.
That's true too.
Let's also talk about that.
Yeah.
You can still
only
marry a
their wounds.
15-year-old in most states, right? So
well, certainly in the
South.
Bible Belt. I'm gonna assert right now, because you mentioned Trump in a long game. I'm gonna assert that there's nothing long about or on Trump.
I agree with that.
NFT. Hashtag NFT.
Yeah.
So we have stretched about as far as we can in hopes that maybe we would get a special thing. Yeah, he's not testifying. He's not. I mean, yeah, sure. There is literally he is not that dumb.
His ties were long. That is true.
His ties were long.
Right. But he did, I feel like his hand could fit in the palm of my hand.
He goes to American Girl shops to feel like he has big hands.
Nah, he likes to get his gloves from Gap Kids so they can feel tight. He wears mittens. Mickey's hands are bigger.
He wouldn't.
As has been proven. Mickey got big dick energy.
Donald Trump wouldn't know what tight felt like if he was dating a pencil sharpener.
No, absolutely not.
So we do have we do have one other thing to talk about. And I'm just going to, I'm going to put this up, and then I'm going to put up a video which expresses how certain people in Tallahassee are feeling right now.
Hoes mad, 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 hoes mad.
Because honestly,
I told you we keep that forever.
oh yeah, no, it is so effortlessly priceless. So I was in Tallahassee to support my friend, and I was in the courtroom for the first 3 days. I was still getting over the time zone change.
Yes.
And so I was useless. But there was a turn. I was there sitting, listening, and rolling my eyes. I wore a hoodie in court so I could cover my head so that the jury couldn't see me rolling my eyes at the prosecution's chicanery. And so it was tough. It was tough to be in there and hear their lies. And we were talking we do love you, Sharon. We were talking every day. We had a group chat just, of people who were in town and people who were out of town and supporting, and we were sending messages and talking to each other and giving updates and looking at the local paper and being upset at what we considered to be unfair, biased coverage. And so there was a lot that was going on, but we sat and we prayed, and just yesterday, literally just yesterday, throughout all of the scandals and drama, and a juror who posted on their social media about not about deliberations, about the fact that they were in deliberations. A person who makes their income off of kind of being a public speaker and presenter. And then, so they come out with the verdicts. There were 19 counts. The first count was just about Andrew Gillum.
Right. That was not guilty.
That was not guilty. Flat out not guilty.
Yeah.
They spent an entire week, the first week of the trial, on the one count.
Yeah. And not guilty.
And that was not guilty. Then 2 through 9 basically kind of all of us scoonched together. And turns out, even last week, even when they got the trial, when they got the to go into deliberations on Friday, they felt that they were deadlocked that day. They felt they were deadlocked.
And nothing changed.
And nothing changed on Monday. I left on Tuesday, nothing really changed. And then Wednesday is when things really started to kind of like hit the fan. Come to find out, not guilty on count 1, on counts 2 through 19, 10-2 to acquit. So at the time that they announced, basically hung jury, mistrial, or whatever on the other counts, that's right. You don't mess with his anointed. You're going to faith around and find out. You had no announcement of what the polling of the jury was. They didn't ask for a polling of the jury in the courtroom while the jurors were there. They did not do that. And so, of course, the government decides to announce that they intend to retry. But then later on that day, 10-2 came out. Now, I'm just going to tell you, ain't nobody asked me, you're not going to get authorized to spend this money again.
No.
Not with a not guilty and a 10-2.
No.
Because what they're basically saying is that you had 2 recalcitrant jurors.
Yeah. 2 people that just decided to be stubborn assholes.
They were going to be, they
don't like, You had two racists on there. It was like, we don't like, and so they was never gonna change their mind.
Right. So and guess what? Your case was not. You said in court.
Yeah.
You said in court it was a circumstantial case.
Yeah. You already knew it was bullshit the first time. Ain't nobody gonna let you do that twice.
No.
And you're not gonna get backing from DeSantis because he got Disney problems right now. He ain't worried about the bullshit.
Listen. Right. It's not happening. Don't do it. Don't waste it. Don't try to waste that money. Not when Clarence Thomas is taking $1 million. Not when Herschel Walker had $535,000 wired directly into his business account as a campaign donation.
Not when Brett Favre stole $77 million from Mississippi. The fuck? Do not. It's not going to be a good look for you. Not at all. And I can tell you, trying to help you.
Those government attorneys and their hairlines, y'all hairlines can't take it.
Don't make me laugh. I'm fighting allergies. That's why I keep coughing, because I got the whole nasal drip nonsense.
You just gotta wave your storm hand and like bring a cold front through there and kill all the pollen or whatever.
That's what I need to do. I'm gonna do it as soon as we get off.
Yeah, don't do it. Do not do it. None of y'all had hair except one. There was one guy who had hair. Yeah. Oh, that one. That one's the reason they're paying the full cost for the stupid's travel. Yeah. What? Wait, hold on. Wait, we gotta wait till the camera comes on. Hold on.
I ain't turning the camera on. You better put me in.
Okay. Wait, what just happened? Okay, there she is.
She's audio only, but we can't. How do we get her little face up
hold
there?
Hold on. I gotta turn on. I gotta change it in settings. Hold on. Show display names. Settings. It's gonna be audio avatars. I gotta do. Wait, general. Audio avatars. There we go. Hey, Sharon Lemonade!
All right. Wow! We love you.
Hey, friends. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, it is so good to hear your voice.
Fine. It's great to hear your voice.
Hey, Sharpies.
They're excited.
I just want to send some love. And I'm doing a drive-by, literally and figuratively. Couldn't resist. I just wanted to tell everybody that I love them. I appreciate their prayers. I appreciate all the outward expressions and inward expressions that I've received and know is happening spiritually. I just want to say, but God.
But God. Let me tell you, the Sharpies are sending all their love your way, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, you can't see it right now, but you'll see it when you watch it back, because we put the comments on there. Listen, my sister is a warrior, and what she endured during the entirety of this Foolywang and these spiritual attacks, she was surrounded by a phalanx of people that were not going to stop shielding her and protecting her. We were sharpening our steel against each other in her defense. It was truly, truly amazing and awesome to be back there and to be able to be a part of the team that was covering her. And we could not be any happier about the outcome. Sharon, I can't wait for you to see these things that are coming down. I did pull that video of your statement. Is that something you would be fine with being played on the show?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we have this is a first for Steel Sharpens Steel. This is footage of Sharon's comment after she left the courtroom. So we're just gonna play it. Listen and watch.
Freedom isn't free. And if you don't stand up for yourself, nobody else will. That was a lesson learned in this process. And with everything that my attorney has said, one thing everybody has to realize, the first week of the trial was nothing but count one. And there are 19 counts on a trial in this particular trial. One whole week devoted to count one with a not guilty verdict. 2 through 19 was bundled. hung jury because all they could hear was count one. And as far as I'm concerned, they realized 2319 was bogus. Now, hopefully we can get our lives back when the government decides to stop wasting its money. Our tax dollars, all of your tax dollars, on a false positive. Thank you.
She said thank you and dipped. Did you see how the head moved?
All of your tax dollars.
That syllable out of her mouth. She said turn and go. Ain't taking no questions. Ain't nothing to hear. Ain't nothing to see here. F y'all. We done. We done. Yeah, right? Chuck.
Look at how these white folks are wasting y'all's money on some bullshit. That's
your money.
What she said.
All of our money.
Unbowed and unbent. Yes.
I mean, listen, not Felicia Satan. Bye, Felicia. It was an awesome result. It was truly an awesome result. And we love you, Sharon. We look forward to when we can have the whole team back together.
And shout out to Chuck as well. Chuck,
yes, shout out for Chuck. Chuck was there with me in the courtroom. He was there when I wasn't in the courtroom. A part of the home team. Chuck, if you want to read his blow by blow coverage about this entire thing, he has a Substack. He is posting on Observations Point. He has a comprehensive article that basically,
and it's incredible.
Gavel to gavel.
It's an incredible account, pre-indictment,
right,
during pre-trial, and throughout the entire court process, and even post. And y'all stay tuned. The Tallahassee Democrat broke today. Even as a hung jury, we had a 10-2 verdict in our favor. Yeah. And we're getting mixed information now, but it's anywhere between 10-2 across the board and 9-3 on a couple. But that's still a super majority of jurors that was in complete support of us. And we would not have had a hung jury. There weren't some zealots in the back that made their decision before they even went into deliberation.
Exactly.
They made their decision when they saw you.
Yeah.
So, but there's going to be quite a bit of revelation over the next couple of days as prosecution makes a decision if they're going to retry us again. Right now, they claim to retry us, so keep the prayers going. We keep the spirit warriors moving, because it ain't over, right? But we will not bend, and we will not bow, and we will stay resilient. Our ancestors fought, died, and were resolute for much bigger and sacrifices for us especially. Yeah. So we know we're just a vessel, and we're going to do what we have to do to right the wrongs of society. And if we're the sacrificial lambs, we know we'll not have sacrificed less for our people.
It was a testament to the power of our community. Not let Disney take your case.
Hello. Let Disney take your case. Disney got you.
when I tell you, going back there and being with our community and seeing how our community rallied around her, when I tell you there wasn't a moment when there wasn't a prayer circle in that courtroom praying into the hearts of those jurors. When I tell you that, doors open, lifting, pulling, we were there for her. And it was just a blessing to be able to be around her and the rest of the family that was supporting her, and her entire family, which was supporting her. Her mom was there every second. It was awesome. It was awesome to see. And if not for the will of these obdurate jurors, we could have had the exact result that
should have happened,
that she deserved. But
Tom, I want to personally thank you. You came all the way from California, spent 8 whole days on the ground, extended your stay. We had to change tickets, and you have not left my side 1 minute physically. and spiritually, and all of the Sharpies. I thank all of you. I feel your prayers, Joy. I know people are out here fighting for us, and I just want y'all to know how grateful we are.
Absolutely.
You deserve all of that and more. And
absolutely. We love you, Sharon.
This is the way. This is the way to end the show. This is the way to end the show. We could not have ended it more better. It was just like somebody said. Maybe Carla said, Sharon. I don't care who it was. You came in right on time. And Joy saw you first. I saw you flicker onto the screen. I was like, wait, what's going on? What's going on? What is happening? And there you were. This is just awesome. This is everything. The vindication, the can you feel a brand new day? Can you feel a brand new day? Everybody get up! There's a whole new way of living now. So we will see you next week. That is Mother's Day weekend. It's going to be a bright, shiny Mother's Day for Sharon Letman and all of her motherhood.
Absolutely.
And to all the mothers out there, we're going to give you a special shout out come next show. And we are so excited. It has been too long since our sister has made her presence on the show. And we are
love the hair, Joy.
Thank you.
I love it. Right? All that thick, beautiful hair.
Okay, why it got to be fake though?
I mean, it is. She said
thick. You see? You see? Lord have mercy.
Like 5 minutes and he tried to start shit. You see?
I ain't trying to start shit.
Beautiful hair.
That's right. We are frick and frack. That's right, Nikki. Who is a juror? A registered voter. Say it, Gail Simpkins. Registered voter. That's right.
Gail, I saw your comment earlier. Gail was when Gail walked in that jury selection room. I was like, I think I know her.
Yeah, it was.
Gonna get away with
it was just awesome. It was just awesome. And I got a Guthrie's box thanks to Sharon. All I wanted was a gut box, and she took me, and she got me a gut box. So it's chicken fingers. It's Raising Cane's for anybody who doesn't live in Tallahassee. And now there's a Raising Cane's literally across the street, so it's going to be the battle of the chicken.
Battle of the chick boxes, yeah.
Yeah. But it was awesome, Sharon. It was wonderful to be able to spend some real time with you again. It was like we were back on the yard. And so I can't wait to be back for homecoming. So we gonna turn up. Okay, Nikki, I don't live in Tallahassee. I can have 5 damn chicken fingers or 4.5 because I shared some with Sharon. I just eat some goddamn chicken fingers once a year. Shit. And I didn't have fries. I had double coleslaw, okay?
He sure did not have fries. I'm very mad about it.
Let me live.
How you gonna get that and not get fries? What's wrong with you?
So anyway, Sharpies, we love you. This was definitely an After Dark episode. If this was your first time watching us on the show, and you were a person who doesn't like language, actually my blood pressure is fine, Nikki, for real, it is. Then we just invite you to come and be a part of the family. This is the Steel Sharpens Steel experience. We love y'all. And so for the first time in a long time, I'm going to start and Sharon's going to finish. I'm Tom Cunningham.
I'm Joy Stevens.
And I am Sharon Letman Hicks.
And this is Steel Sharpens Motherfucking Steel. Good night, everybody.